Today we'll be adding another character to my Star Wars Rebels display. This is Sabine Wren. I hope a lot of you out there have watched Star Wars Rebels, because up there was Clone Wars. Not as good in my opinion, but still excellent. I love seeing the continuation of Ahsoka's story, Captain Rex, and just seeing all the adventures the Ghost Crew goes on. And since Ahsoka got her own show, I have been very happy because we got a continuation of basically the end of Rebels. I know we're still waiting to see if we get figures of Ezra, and man, I would absolutely love a figure of Kanan, because I don't know if we're ever going to see him in live action. I'm kind of hoping for season 2 of Ahsoka, maybe we'll get a flashback or something, because I need him as a figure as well. I need to get the whole crew, and I believe now I basically have all the Rebels characters on order at least, and now Sabine's come in, so we're reviewing her today. You can probably see behind me a little bit if you look. Do you see Chopper back there? Yeah, that's my current Rebels display. Just have Chopper and the Granite Quizzer in there. But after this video, we're going to be adding Sabine. Of course, this is like a live action version for her, which I kind of prefer, because one of the rules in my collection I'm trying to stick to, although, yeah, I'm definitely going to break it. I'm trying to make sure I only get figures that are realistic looking, so this works for me. Like, I'm skipping the Hono Rebels Vader, even though that looks incredible. But, you know, we have to have some restrictions in our collection, so let's just go layer on the light box and start unboxing her. As you all know, every good unboxing must start with the box, and today we have a very basic black Star Wars box, as usual. So there's a nice image of Sabine right up here without the helmet. Then on the wraparound banner, there's a nice little image of her with the helmet. You got the Star Wars logo, another Star Wars logo on the banner. This is TMS 111, Sabine Wren, 6-scale collectible figure. I do really like this blue color on the wraparound banner, and the World Between Worlds behind it looks very nice. For me, I think I'll probably display her without the helmet, because she doesn't wear the helmet a ton. It looks super cool, so you have to display it, but wearing it wise, yeah, I don't know if that's necessary. Then let's roll to the side. So this for me is already coming up a little. Hopefully I didn't do that, but yeah, just be careful with these, because if you get snagged or something, it'll bend and break potentially. So for me, I'm just gonna have to be a little extra careful of it, but this is a nice image of Sabine holding her helmet. I do really like that pose, but man, you probably have to have her holding either a blaster or the lightsaber. Yeah, I'm still debating, because the lightsaber for her, I mean, she does get it. I know it's Ezra's, but yeah, I don't know. For her, I don't really see her as a lightsaber wielder as much, even though she does in Ahsoka. But Rebels-wise, yeah, we'll see once we get there. Then you can see her little Loth cat down here. Moving to the back real quick, a bunch of information, a little Disney sticker. Then moving to the other side, just a couple more words similar to the front. Moving to the top, says Star Wars upside down. Then going back to the bottom, Star Wars again. Now let's go ahead and open her up. Opening this up, you can see a very nice image on the slip art, or slip cover, art on the slip cover, I should say. You can see Sabine right here. That head sculpt looks really good. I'm excited to get out here to see if it's as good as all these images. Then of course, a little Photoshop on a lightsaber to make it look like it actually glows well, because we all know Hot Toys lightsabers do not look that good. Then this is just some really good artwork. Just look at that. Now we can go ahead and get her out the box. Let's take this cover off so we can actually get to her. And now, taking that off, there's a interesting smell. Not a bad smell or anything, just smells like fresh figure, I suppose. But let's just take off this little neck holder thingy, remove some plastic, and let's look at her. This, wow. Yeah, that looks really good. I don't know if it comes through on camera, but that purple for the hair, that is a very nice color, especially in the light box, like looking past the camera right now. Wow, that looks really good. Through the camera, I don't think you're getting like how good this color looks, honestly. But I don't know why. There's just something about that hair color I kind of like. It looks pretty good. But man, yeah, just first taking her right out of the box, I'm already pretty impressed. That is 100% Sabine. So now that is basically everything unboxed. I just have to take all the accessories out now, and then we'll take a closer look. Now that we have everything for Sabine laid out, let's look at some of the boring accessories first. She comes with some wrist pegs and some swap out buttons, and then her eye mover, of course. Then for her, she actually comes with a waist clamp. So it's not a crotch grab or anything like that. It's actually similar to Bo-Katan's. And since the bodies look a little similar, we will be taking Bo-Katan out in the figure overview section just to kind of, do some little comparisons. But of course, this waist clamp goes into the base, and her base, it's pretty basic. You just have the black coloring, you have some like chipping and stuff along the actual edges of the floor. Then you have Star Wars, Sabine Wren in the front. is just a basic Star Wars base. I really want to get that Ahsoka. Of course, I have her on order, the Ahsoka that was from the Ahsoka show in her white outfit. I really want that version in the white outfit. I'm glad I skipped the Mandalorian one because the white outfit one to me is more accurate to Rebels. Because in Rebels, she wore that more white outfit. And yeah, I think people should get that version of Ahsoka. She also has like seamless shoulders and stuff. So I'm really excited to get that in to see how all that works. Because I don't think I have a figure yet. Just looking around real quick that has like fully seamless shoulders and arms yet. But compared to these basic Star Wars bases, the base that comes with that Ahsoka is so good. And now as always, let's go ahead and put the, waist clamp went in very easy today. I didn't even get a chance to finish talking. But yeah, this waist clamp goes in there very easy. And now we'll set that off to the side. So one thing with her being a newer figure is that these blades look so good. So actually, maybe laying them down, you can see the green looks very good because the white background of the actual light box. But picking them up, they still look so good. So she's a newer figure, so Hot Toys has been improving the saturation of the blades. And for me, this is a very nice green color. You can see on this left one, that looks so good. And then this right one, I love the green going into the swooshing blade. So just to show you what I'm talking about, I grabbed Luke's from the Mandalorian set, and yeah, you can definitely tell Hot Toys has improved a lot. This one here is Luke's, the one where you can barely tell it's green, that you can almost see all the way through. Then the really good looking one, Sabine's, which you can see the blade kind of like stops you from seeing through it. Man, they've improved a bunch, and I'm looking forward to getting more blades in the future. This green color looks very, very nice, and I am very glad Hot Toys is actually giving us better blades now. But for these blades, they actually go with her lightsaber. So let me grab the standard one first. We'll look at the light up one. Probably going to go back in the box for me, but we'll take a look at it. Her lightsaber, which, it's technically Ezra's, looks very good. You can see down here, there's that ring, so she can actually mount it onto her side. And I really like this design up top. So you see how there's like that gap in the middle. It reminds me of Cal Kestis's lightsaber from, Star Wars, Jedi Survivor, and Fallen Order. I'm a big fan of those games. I'm still waiting for us to actually get a Cal Kestis. I feel like Hot Toys, they might do it maybe for this 25th anniversary coming up or something. But at the time of me filming this video, there's no Cal Kestis out there. I would absolutely love to have it. But you can see, I believe this is the igniter right here, that red in there. You can see the nice ridges and wow. Yeah, this is very nicely detailed. You can see like kind of up top, all the weathering kind of around the actual handle. Yeah, that beautiful silver color is very nicely weathered. So for this saber, let's just plop a blade in there if I put it the correct way. Like all the other Star Wars figures that come with lightsabers, they just peg in there like that, and that looks fantastic. I love the way the blade looks in there. You can see this is the, of course, standard one. Then we can put the swooshing blade in there. Let's pick this one up. And actually, what I would recommend is probably put the swooshing blade sideways. So the blades don't interfere with these side pieces. It might not be an issue, but spinning it around, yeah, it feels like it contacts a little bit. So you want to definitely put it this way so you're a little extra safe. Then with the swooshing blade in there, yeah, that looks very swooshy. You can see even me moving around, it looks pretty good. Looks like I am currently fighting, I don't know, maybe some stormtroopers or something like that. But now moving this one out the way, we'll do the light up lightsaber at the end of the accessory overview section. I smacked all her hands apparently at some point. But next, let's look at her Lothcat. I love this little piece. Hot Toys has made a Lothcat before with, I believe, the Mandalorian set, or it was an extra accessory set, but this one just looks very nice. We all remember all the Lothcats from Lothal, from, Ezra's homeworld, and this is a very nice one. You can see the feet, kind of like the bird-esque type feet there. They're a little pointy, stuff like that. Actually, dang, kind of sharp, so don't stab yourself with your Lothcat. Then her ears are kind of sharp. I forget if it's a male or female. I said her. Just 'cause it felt right, I guess. This feels like a female Lothcat. We'll just go with that for now. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you know. But yeah, the ears aren't too sharp. I love how they look though. The like pointed bit. That face is adorable. Look at the kind of like, yeah, the frowniness, and then the eyes. Yeah, this is a cute little cat. And then you can feel all the fur texture. This, for Hot Toys quality, because we all saw how that Superman Crypto looks. This actually looks very good. I guess they're good at making, fake space
space creatures more than they are making realistic looking creatures, because this actually looks very good in my personal opinion. I love the way the tail looks kind of fluffy. You can see, of course, you know, all that like fur texture and all like the polka dots. Yeah, I'm kind of impressed by that. Then next for her, kind of a disappointing accessory. We get the hologram of Ezra, and someone tell me who the heck this is. I know it's supposed to be Ezra in his old outfit from the show, like the final seasons, but man, does that look bad. Like trying to get real closer, look at the face. They didn't even give him eyes. Is his eyes closed? Like the hair, this looks horrible. And then there's like pink. Why is it pink? I don't remember him wearing pink. Maybe he did. I don't even know. But I'm not the biggest fan of this. For Chopper, I actually put his hologram with him because it was a Doctor Droid. But this one, man, I do not think I'm going to be using this. I'll have to debate it, but maybe I'll put it in there for some Ezra representation. But I don't really like how this looks at all, personally. You can, of course, see it gets a little translucent down near the bottom, and then there's that nice translucent blue, but man, it just does not look like him at all. They didn't put a ton of effort into it. I mean, it looks fine, but just the face really throws it off. Like, who the heck is that? But with him, of course, you also get the little hologram chip. Ah, shoot, what are these called? I completely blanked. Let me know in the comments what this is called. Little hologram puck? Is that it? Yeah, that sounds right. So for the hologram puck, you can take this poorly looking Ezra and put it right in there, and there you go. Of course, gotta try to use a lot of the accessories for posing. We'll do a little pose with it, but man, does that not look great. Next, we'll take a little peek at her blasters. So her blasters are kind of asymmetrical, so they're the exact same blasters. They kind of look like Bo-Katan's actually, so maybe they're Mandalorian blasters. That makes sense. But you can see one of them's kind of more like this yellowish, almost green, like mustard color. So yeah, looks pretty good. You can see all the kind of detail in there, all the speckling, all the dirt. Then this one is blue. It does show in the instructions you can, let's see, you can push this forward. So let's try it out. I don't really want to break it, but okay. Okay, good. Yeah, I pulled it forward. For a second there, I was like, oh shoot, that doesn't look right. But yeah, it looks good. You can see all the detail in there, some like red little dots, I guess. And yeah, it just looks pretty good. You can pull it forward. I think this is because she reloads doing this. I honestly don't really remember, but glad it does that. You know, probably pretty accurate. Let's test out the other one now that I know it works. And this one's really fighting me. Okay. Whew. Glad that stopped because I felt like I was really yanking there. But yeah, also does it. And yeah, they both look good. Probably a feature I'm never going to use, but always nice when they include it. Now let's grab her hands. I know I'm leaving the helmet for last or second to last. I'm gonna look at the light up effects, but the helmet just looks so good. I really want to look at that last. It looks very nice. So for this figure, you actually get quite a lot of hands. So you actually get 9 total. I have 7 here, and then there's 2 on the figure. Let's look at the figures first. So the 2 on the figure are just kind of relaxed style hands, so pretty basic there. Then for the rest, you get 2 blaster hands, a left and a right pair. 2 closed fists so she can punch people directly in the face. Then a left and right gripping hand, most likely just for the lightsaber, or yeah, probably just for the lightsaber. Then last, she gets a helmet holding hand, and these hands are actually very nice looking. I really like this kind of ridge texture that you can actually feel for the actual gloves. Then looking here for her fingernails, they appear to be like a black color. So yeah, they paint all her fingernails black, looks very good. Then you can see the actual knuckles and all the little ridges for every finger. Yeah, these are actually very beautifully painted hands. And finally, we're looking at her helmet, and this is gorgeous. So I'm sure a lot of us out there that love Rebels remember Sabine usually goes through a bunch of different paint jobs. She dyes her hair different colors, she paints her outfit different colors, and paints everything she can get her paintbrush on. So this helmet looks very nice. Functionality wise, you can push down the rangefinder, of course. And then this piece actually comes out, which, let me try that real quick. Yep, pops out easily, because if you have it on her, you obviously want the sock on there, so you can't really see her neck. And you can see there's like 3 friction pegs to actually get that done. But if you want her just holding the helmet or have it sitting somewhere to display, you want to take it out. So yeah, it just looks like that. There's no detail on the inside. It's basically just all the pegs for this piece and then just so it fits on the figure. But color wise, I like this. I love the black and then that kind of gray. It's all a little dirty. You see a bunch of speckling all around it. The visor is very nice. It's kind of like shaped like Bo-Katan's, of course. Then I love that maroonish red with like the blue dots, that whitish color. And I love all the details, even the little purple marks on there. This is a very beautiful helmet. Since I'm such a big fan of Rebels, whenever I get these figures in, I get super excited because, man, yeah, getting the whole Rebels crew, especially like live action versions, in my display is awesome. They get their own shelf and I'm so excited to fill it up. As always, I'll be updating you guys as I move along with that shelf and like my weekly shorts and stuff. But man, this is going to be an awesome addition for it. Now for the part I'm not too excited about, the light up lightsaber. So for the light up lightsaber, you of course get the junction box and you can plug it in, and then you get a clip for her belt if you want to clip that junction box to her belt. Then you get a clip for the stand if you want to put it on the base. So you have options there. I just don't really like how these look personally. So to be honest with you guys, this is not really plugging in too well. It's not staying, it's kind of falling. So that kind of sucks. I tried both plugs. Okay, it kind of is in there now. I finally got it, but yeah, you can see that nice green glow. Let's turn down the lights now. Bring the lights on down, and oh dang, you can see that green. Oh, and it went out. Oh, okay. Man, these lightsabers, the plug already came out. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to hold it in there. It glows pretty green, you can see, but when it comes to lightsabers, I know there's some companies out there that give us much better lightsabers than Hot Toys. I am not fortunate enough to have any yet. It is something that'd be cool to upgrade in the future, but just looking at this, it's okay. I say as it goes out on me. Okay, let me try to hold the plug in better. Yeah, this does not plug in well. Maybe it's just my figure. Maybe it's just something like that, but I'm gonna try my hardest to get through this real fast. So here's this blade. I mean, on camera, it doesn't look too bad. Actually, dang, this one doesn't look bad at all. Okay, sorry, Hot Toys. I actually kind of like how this one lights up. Okay, Hot Toys, you impressed me with one of them, even though the junction box on her isn't really working. Yeah, not really working for mine too well. The plug is kind of coming out a little, but actually, yeah, good job, guys. This one actually looks pretty good. Okay, we're gonna look at the figure now, but do not call me weird. This is a feature Hot Toys put onto the figure, but they padded her butt for some reason. Yeah, this is very like padded. It's interesting because the legs aren't padded or anything, but you can definitely feel that. Now I'm kind of interested. I'll have to grab my Bo-Katan and I guess see if she's padded like that. So yeah, that's a little interesting. I had to point that out because when I picked her up this second time, I was like, oh, okay, they padded that up. So yeah, Hot Toys, I guess they're working on the proportions a bit. But getting that out of the way, I had to mention that first because it's the first thing I noticed. This figure looks great. The head sculpt looks very, very nice. I already talked about how nice that kind of purple for the hair is. The head right now actually feels a little stiff. Interesting. Probably need to loosen that joint up in there a little bit. But that head sculpt looks very accurate to Sabine from Rebels. I really, really like that. You can, of course, pop the head off and get to the rolling eyeball feature inside. Let's see if my pinky's enough. Yeah, so we can just roll her eyeballs, you know, put them off to the side real quick. Hopefully that looks pretty good. You can, like, you know, roll them down a bit, make them look good. I always love the rolling eyeball features now, even if I don't end up doing it good on camera. The rolling eyeball feature adds so much life to the figure, and yeah, I just love that feature. While her head's off though, let's go ahead. You get it? Go ahead. Yeah, no, not funny. Okay, my bad. But let's go ahead and put her helmet on. So this little sock piece here, what you do is, looking at the instructions, of course, you work it over her actual, the little kind of plastic connector piece, and then work it on. Let's see if I can do this. All right, so I finally got the helmet on. Had to take it off camera because it proved to be a bit more difficult than I thought, but I actually learned these little shoulder pieces. Yeah, they're just held on with Velcro because I knocked one off. But this helmet, yeah, it's a bit hard to put on. You have to get the sock, like work the sock on over, and then align the head, pop onto that plastic connector. It's a little difficult, and now the head is very, very stiff. Like maybe mine's just stiff out the box. I don't know. But yeah, it feels so creaky and stiff moving it. That's a bit unfortunate, but honestly, I don't really like the look with the helmet on for her. Like, yes, it's Sabine. Yes, it looks good, but man, the bunching here, you see all the bunching under here where the sock goes? The helmet's okay, but definitely never going to go on her, especially because this head sculpt is so great with the rolling eyeballs and everything. So now let's look at her outfit. So like I mentioned, a lot of these little armor pieces are held on by Velcro since I knocked the shoulder off. So you can always adjust them if they get out of place and everything. So that is very, very nice. Then usually she likes to change up her colors on her outfit and everything, but looks like she needs to do a fresh coat of paint soon because you see all this chipping and like all the paint coming off. Then of course it's a bit dirty, kind of on the silver pieces. Yeah, she needs to give herself a fresh coat of paint pretty soon. Then looking at the shoulders, yes, you have the symbol of the rebellion right there. Nice color scheme. I do really like the color scheme on her. It's like a more maroon mixed with orange and purple, and then also a little bit of white mixed in there. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. And I love the little pops of blue, because look over here. I know there's a significance to that creature right there. I'll get a little fuzz off her. But man, at this moment, I cannot remember what that is. Looking a little closer, like, it's not the whale. Man, what is that? Let me know in the comments if you remember. Dang it. Now I gotta rewatch all of Rebels and Ahsoka. Man, darn, that sucks. Nah. Yeah, I just can't remember. Let me know down in the comments. Yeah, those shows are great, so I mean, I wouldn't mind rewatching them. But yeah, that's very nice. I love the blue there. Love the bit of yellow, the little bit of, I think, brownish color for the actual creature in there. Then her whole flight suit is this nice brown, but it's like a little bit of red. Like, yeah, to me, I kind of see a little bit of red in there, like a brownish red. Well, that'd be maroon, but it's more brown than maroon, like a little bit of like milk chocolatey type of color, but it looks very good. Then on the back, you see a little bit more chipping and all the nice colors around there. Her belts, though, unfortunately, I believe they're pleather, so it's a little bit sad, but it's fine. Then in case you really mess up, there's these little dots, see all around the belt. You get extra of those, but yeah, trust me, I've had to do it before. You do not want to have to put those back on, so just be very careful when messing with your figure. Then even along the back, like right here for the belt, that's a bit weathered, kind of where the belt connects for the actual holsters. The holsters are nice. Then our holsters, we'll put the weapons in there in a sec, but man, I always hate pleather because they're probably going to degrade eventually, but at least the belt does look nice. You can see the little hook for the lightsaber here. Bunch of weathering for the kind of chrome pieces where they'll connect. Yeah, the actual flight suit also has some gray, the gray there and the legs along the back and under the arms. Then going back up here to the actual forearm armor. These look nice. Look at that beautiful gray, and then there's kind of like that goldish yellow color. Along the sides, you can kind of see, I don't know, all these tools. Of course, she probably has a grappling hook and stuff. Kind of glad Hot Toys didn't give us a grappling hook with her, because I never am going to use that. But you can see this kind of like red coloring. There's a bit like shiny chrome silver application for whatever those little things are. Same on the other side, except this one has blue and stuff, so a little different, but still looks very good. I really like the asymmetrical type of styling she has for her armor. You can see this side's more of that maroonish. Actually, is there a little bit of purple? I'm just going to keep all maroon, so I'm not crazy. But yeah, there's kind of like that reddish maroon color in there. And then maybe even purplish now that I'm looking at the legs in different lighting. But you have that shin armor. You have that. You have, unfortunately, probably pleather for the boots. Looks like there's a zipper here. You can't really zip it or anything. Hopefully you can see that on camera. But that looks nice. Same for this side, but a different color scheme. The all shin armor, the nice looking pleather, unfortunately, boots. Then for the boots themselves, of course, they articulate nicely because this is just like a covering for it. Just be careful not to pop off the pieces. Okay, got her back to looking good. I think the eye position's okay. I just kind of left it how I had it last, but yeah, looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and put her weapons in the holsters. She, of course, has these two blasters, and each one goes in a holster. I am not sure which goes where. Maybe it says, actually. It doesn't say in the instructions, but looking at the cover art on the actual box, looks like blue goes on her left side. Let's try to work it in. Just be careful because it's pleather. I know pleather is just, whenever a Hot Toys collector or anyone that collects figures hears pleather, they should shiver. They should fear it. They should run away in fear. But unfortunately you have to accept it because these manufacturers are just going to always use pleather. It's very unfortunate. You can see I'm really fighting with this holster because that is not in at all. But man, yeah, pleather just sucks. For her holsters, I'm guessing that's as far down as they go. You can see the weapons on each side. Yeah, it feels like that's as far down as it goes because you can see this little bulge here. You feel the weapon. Yeah, that seems like as far as it goes, unfortunately. To me, it seems like they stick out quite a bit. But yeah, there's nowhere else to really push it. So don't fight with it too much if it doesn't look right, because to me, yeah, they don't seem to fit too far down. It's probably accurate, but just be careful with the pleather components, because trying to work holsters in like that is not the most fun thing ever. It holds the weapons well, and it kind of shapes to them nicely, but it's a bit worrisome because you don't want to tear the belt, the pleather, anything, but luckily it seems to hold up pretty well. Now, real quick, let's just go ahead, get the lightsaber. We'll put it on her for now. Hopefully it won't fall off while we're moving her around. So the lightsaber just hangs by the little ring, kind of right there on the belt. Looks pretty good. And that's basically it for the components you could put on her. She doesn't come with a jetpack or anything, although of course she did use one in Rebels. But in Ahsoka, yeah, from my memory, I don't think she used one in Ahsoka. And actually, yeah, this Velcro. Luckily you won't pose her from the back unless, you really want to show off the padding they put there. But you can see this Velcro sticking up. Not the best look, but yeah, oh well. But what I'll do now is let me grab Bo-Katan. This lightsaber is just going to fall off her, so I'll leave it off for now. Let me grab Bo-Katan. Let's kind of compare their characters a little bit, or the bodies, I mean, because yeah, she has a similar body to Bo-Katan. So earlier, I believe I actually misspoke. I said Bo-Katan has a waist grabber, kind of like she has, but actually she comes with a waist clamp. I believe I was thinking of Ahsoka, the Clone Wars Ahsoka, that comes with the same style waist clamp that she does. So yeah, I misspoke there because this Bo-Katan has a jetpack and stuff. So yeah, let's just kind of compare them now. So let me get the helmet out of her hand. I'm going to steal the Darksaber from her. She's not going to be happy about it, but it's okay. So the main reason I want to compare these two figures is because the bodies seem similar. They're both Mandalorians, and they're both like similarly proportioned. I know I'm not talking about the actual people. I'm talking about figures. So yeah, they look a little similar there. One thing I will note though is Bo-Katan is pretty heavy. I mean, yeah, she's not light by any means, but I don't know why this Bo-Katan figure is super heavy. But first, one thing to look at is the weapons. So both their weapons are the same. Actually, one thing I noticed too, yeah, Bo-Katan's arms are actually ratcheted. Hers are, they're just glide. So that's interesting. Then the weapons, you can see hers, Bo-Katan's actually goes down a little more. Maybe I could work Sabine's down a little bit, but yeah, they're a similar weapon style as well. You see Bo-Katan has a little bit of wood for the handle, hers isn't, and of course Sabine always paints her weapons, so that's a little bit different, but similar because it's the same style weapon. So I'll do it very quickly for you. So yeah, I was curious about this myself. Bo-Katan, seems like there's a very slight padding, but Sabine, they definitely used a lot more padding. So yeah, I don't want to sit there and talk about it too much, but just so you're aware, yes, they padded Sabine a little bit more than Bo-Katan in that region. Then going back to the front real quick, yeah, the bodies are really similar, like the way the legs are, the like kind of arms. The big difference though is Bo-Katan uses a lot of ratchets, like her arms are ratcheted. Like I was thinking it was really stiff, but nope, it's just because it's a ratchet moving her arm up. But of course they do have like really similar armor. They're both Mandalorian women, of course. So they both have the like chest pieces, shoulder pads, and some shin armor, knee armor, forearm armor, gloves, and everything like that. These figures both look good. Of course, Bo-Katan's a little older, so she doesn't have rolling eyeballs or anything, but putting them side by side, this is a good pairing. Bo-Katan appeared in Rebels briefly, but yeah, definitely was rolling eyeballs and updated paint applications and everything. Sabine looks very, very good. So now I'm going to move Bo-Katan out of the way and let me bring in another special guest. Bo-Katan's helmet. Okay, this isn't a special guest, but I forgot to talk about it. So their helmets, they're really similar. Bo-Katan's actually looks a bit bigger. Yeah, it looks a little bit bigger. The shape's a little bit different. Hers slants down a little bit more. Hers is a little bit flatter. The visor's similar. Hers is a bit more sharp. Yeah, hers is quite a bit bigger. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, when you finally look at them side by side, when you get figures and stuff, you always think like, yeah, their helmets are the same, like the visors and stuff, but actually seeing them now, no, they're quite a bit different, and yeah, they're both really good looking. Yeah, so Chopper is that real guest star I was talking about. He is awesome. I love my Chopper. He's great. I don't have an R2-D2 or anything yet. Waiting for Hot Toys to make another one. But for now, having Chopper in my Rebels display is perfect. I am going to leave him out now though, because yeah, we're getting to the posing section. And since I have both of them, I have to pose Sabine and Chopper in at least one pose together. For the first pose, I had to get my other Rebels characters out. I do have the Grand Inquisitor, but he doesn't really fit in here when I'm showing my current Ghost Crew figures. So I don't have them rotating around because I just kind of want to show them standing together. So you see Sabine in the middle. She's of course holding that Ezra hologram. And then we got Chopper in the front. I will admit, I always forget that Dr. Droid's name. So remind me in the comments, but we've got his hologram and then we have Sabine's Lothcat. This is an awesome way to display him. I don't know how I'm going to display him yet. Of course, I have more Rebels characters, so it's always going to be changing, but something like this, I'll probably go for when I put her in the display. For that last pose, I forgot to mention it, but
The hand they include to actually hold the helmet is very nice, because I know some characters like that. Yeah, I'm looking at him. Oh, that Obi-Wan that holds his helmet from Clone Wars, Bo-Katan. I don't think they had dedicated hands for it, so it was actually a little hard trying to get them to hold their helmet properly. So I'm glad for her they gave you a dedicated hand. So it makes it very easy, and that's why that pose, it turned out very well. Another thing to note, right now she's holding her blasters, and that is very easy to do because her fingers are very like pliable. I think that's the right word. They're very soft, so it's easy to actually put the blasters into her hands. They're not too like solid. No, not solid. What the heck's the word? Stiff. That's the word I'm looking for. The fingers aren't too stiff, so it doesn't take forever to try to work the blasters in. So this pose is pretty awesome. I do like it. She's just kind of looking off to the side, blasting. I did put her helmet on her. I am still not a big fan of having her wearing the helmet. It's a nice inclusion, but the head sculpt is just so good that I think you just have to use that. That is my personal opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments, but it's so hard not to use the head sculpt on her. So one thing I noticed while trying to do this pose is her legs don't bend too much. There's not a lot of movement in the upper thighs. And I mean, you can move the, of course, the knee joints quite a bit, but not really the upper thighs. So because of that, you can't really get her in like a kneeling pose or have her crouching down too much, which is what I kind of want to do for this. So the pose doesn't look as good as I thought it was in my head when I was like visualizing it, but it still looks nice. She's of course using the blaster and then the lightsaber, but yeah, I mean, it's all right. I left the helmet on her for this, but for the final pose, I will be taking the helmet away and I'll be doing probably the pose I'll put in the display. For the final pose, you know I had to put Sabine with her lightsaber, Ezra's lightsaber, but I think you got a new one, right, in Ahsoka? I'm trying to remember. It was blue or something. Yeah, I think you got a new one. So we'll just say Sabine, this is her lightsaber now. I think this is the pose I'm going to go for in my display. It looks very cool. I like having her with the lightsaber since she's the only one with a lightsaber at the moment, since we don't really have an Ezra. Then of course though, I will have to have her helmet sitting on her base because you have to show off that helmet, and yeah, she looks very good. Let me now hop back on camera though and give you all my final thoughts for this figure. To give you all my final thoughts on Sabine, this is an excellent figure. She, of course, will not be for everyone because she's from Rebels and also Ahsoka. Honestly, not every Rebels fan is going to want to get the live action version of her. There's not really, as far as I know, not really a version of her that's animated. But for those of you that are making a Rebels display like I am, yeah, you need this one. It's a very, very good looking figure. They didn't really skimp on anything, especially when it comes to the head sculpt, the accessories. Yeah, it's excellent. So pretty much, I think it's kind of self-evident if she's for you because you love Rebels. If you don't care for Rebels, then you probably already pass on her, even if you kind of liked Ahsoka. But even if you're a big Ahsoka fan, unless you love Rebels, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you wanted her in that point, but for me, because I love Rebels and saw her in Ahsoka, and because of Ahsoka, we finally got a figure of her. So because of that, like I've been saying, I can build out that Rebels display even more. She's necessary for me. If you're building a Rebels display, she's necessary for you. I'm excited to get her in my display, so I'm going to go do that now. If you did enjoy this video, though, definitely give it a like. Let me know what you think about her down in the comments. Let's have a little discussion down there. I do tons of fun stuff over here on the channel related to 6cal figures and even more, so definitely hit subscribe if you want to see some more guides in the future, figure reviews, figure announcements, and tons of stuff like that. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your week, and as always, stay 6 scale.